Hello and welcome to Drawing with Floof, and today we will be drawing lemurs. So this video was heavily inspired by Madagascar. I saw a photo of a lemur. I was trying to think of something to draw, chose a lemur, and then was like, oh my gosh, I need to watch Madagascar, and then watched Madagascar. Was blown away yet again by the brilliance and the cinematic beauty of one of the best films of all time, to be honest. So there'll probably be lots of Madagascar references in this. So if you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life, mate? Get a regular on and watch it. I think it's on ITVX and maybe other things. It used to be on Netflix. I'm not sure if it is right now, but I couldn't find it on Netflix. So anyway, so let's hop in. Obviously, I'll be doing lots and lots of facts as usual. I've got the Wiki page up, and by the looks of it, it's got quite a lengthy summary, which is useful because that means I don't have to scroll through everything. But anyway, this first type of lemur is obviously the most iconic of all the lemurs, the ring-tailed lemur, also known as King Julian in Madagascar. You will have seen the little animation at the start. I like to move it. Oh man, Madagascar's so amazing. This drawing, they all had quite an ugly phase because lemurs are actually difficult to draw. They've got quite unique faces, but I think it got out of the ugly phase in the end, and it actually looked like the right thing. Difficult to get that face right, but in the end, I think we got through. I was getting a bit bored of it by the end, but it wasn't as bad as the next one. I shall start to read out some Wikipedia. I will link that in the description, so if you want more research, you can go and do that. I know that Wiki isn't the best source of research. When I did my EPQ, I got told that, but for basic YouTube video facts, it's better than using freaking AI or something. So, lemurs, the name comes from the Latin lemures, or something like that, which means ghosts or spirits of the dead. I think they're I'll Google this, but they're a sign of an ill omen, especially specific types like the eye, which we'll get to later, which is why they're called that. Are wet-nosed primates of the superfamily Lemuridae, divided into 8 families and consisting of 15 genera and around 100 extant species. I found that quite cool. I only thought there were 5 species, and there's at least 100. They are endemic. It's only found, is what that means, on the island of Madagascar. Most existing lemurs are small, with a pointed snout, large eyes, and a long tail. They usually live in trees and are active at night. Yeah, we knew that. Lemurs share resemblance with other primates, but evolved independently from monkeys and apes. Due to Madagascar's highly seasonal climate, lemur evolution has produced a level of species diversity rivaling that of any other primate group. Lemurs living lemurs range in weight from 30 grams in the mouse lemur, we'll talk about that one later, to the 9 kilogram indri. I don't think I drew an indri. I'm so sorry. Since the arrival of humans on the island around 2,000 years ago, over a dozen species of giant lemurs, larger than living lemur species, have become extinct, including the gorilla-sized. Hello? That's a bit big. I think a seagull just landed on. I get a seagull that comes and taps on my window and then doesn't go away. It doesn't do it anymore. It's crazy, pecks at my window. Diabolical. Anyway, a gorilla-sized lemur. Imagine that singing, I like to move it. Terrifying. They share many common basal primate traits, such as divergent digits on their hands and feet and nails instead of claws in most species. However, their brain-to-body size ratio is smaller than that of anthropoid primates, which is the ones that are called monkeys. As with all something primates, they have a wet nose. So this next one, I'll carry on with facts in a minute, is the red ruffed lemur. And I don't think it's in Madagascar. I think there's a possibility that it's one of the ones like in their gang, like when they're partying. But it's like one of my favourite types of lemur. It at least was my favourite until I discovered like the millions of others, because that one and the ring-tailed one are the only ones I ever see at zoos. But I was really disappointed because this drawing went absolutely rubbish, in my opinion. Like, the face does not look right at all, and the eyes just messed up, and then it doesn't look right. And then you'll notice that the recording didn't finish because I got bored with doing the shading and then did it off camera because I was bored. Anyway, they're quite cutesy, and there's different types of ruffed lemur. They're not all red. Where was I? They are generally the most social. That's why they do the like to move it dance together, because they're social queens. Of the something or other primates, living in groups known as troops. They communicate more with sense and vocalizations than with visual signals. They have a relatively low basal metabolic rate. We learned about that in science recently. Hello. The rate of energy expenditure per unit time by endothermic animals at rest. That wasn't from my brain, by the way. That's from this. I didn't remember what it meant. And as a result, may exhibit dormancy such as hibernation or torpor, which is when it's like hibernation, but it's not, basically. They also have seasonal breeding and female social dominance. A matriarchy. That's nice. Madagascar, the movie, didn't include that. Most eat a wide variety of fruits and leaves, while some are specialists. 2 species of lemur may coexist in the same forest due to different diets. Lemur research during the 18th and 19th centuries focused on taxonomy and specimen collection. That's not very interesting. And modern studies didn't begin properly until the 50s and 60s. Hindered by political issues on Madagascar during the mid-1970s. They then resumed in the 80s, and they're important for research because their mix of ancestral characteristics and traits can yield insights on primate and human evolution. Most species have been discovered or promoted to full species status since the 1990s. However, it's controversial and depends on which species concept is used. So this next one is a mouse lemur, specifically a Goodman's mouse lemur, which is what Mort. Is it Mort? It is Mort. It is based on. That's why all the lemurs in Madagascar look so different, because there's so many different types. You can tell it's based on Mort. Like, look at those eyes. King Julian! I can't remember any of his phrases. He's such an icon. I love them all so much. I watched Madagascar for the lemurs, but I forgot that the penguins were in it. And that also made my life so much better. This was very creepy to begin with, the drawing, as you can see, but it worked out. Lemur, no, we've already said that. Many lemur species remain endangered due to habitat loss and hunting. Although local traditions such as fadi, which is a wide range of cultural prohibitions or taboos, specific thing in Madagascar, generally help protect lemurs and their forests. Illegal logging, economic privation, and political instability. Oh, illegal logging as in taking down trees. Got it. Stop conservation efforts. Because of these threats and their declining numbers, the IUCN considers lemurs to be the world's most endangered mammals, noting that as of 2013, up to 90% of all lemur species confront the threat of extinction in the wild within the next 20 to 25 years. Sorry? I wasn't aware of that. No, they're like my favourite animals. I say that to like every animal, but that's so sad. Man, why are humans so sucky? This one, I will pause. eye was kind of scary to draw because I had to look at that reference photo every time I looked up. And the face was really it looked a bit dodgy for a bit, but it kind of worked because it has to look scruffy, so it just looked scruffy. It was really scary though. And whilst I was listening to this, my new drawing. So you have to listen to music whilst you're drawing. My new artist for that is a guy called Nory-J. He's actually my teacher, like his alter ego. You should definitely check him out. He's very poetic in the lyrics, but sometimes a bit too much. But listen to Nory-J, guys. So good. We've got to get him to like 1 million listeners, because then he might do one of the Spotify rap things. Anyway, back to this depressingness. Ring-tailed lemurs are an iconic flagship species, which is a species chosen to raise support for biodiversity conservation in a given place or social context. So basically, like, what makes you want to help other species. Collectively, lemurs exemplify the biodiverse fauna of Madagascar and have facilitated the emergence of ecotourism. Ecotourism's so cute. Someone did their speech on that the other day, and it was so beautiful. Is when you go on holiday, but you're more focused on like contributing to conservation rather than like yourself. In addition, conservation organizations increasingly seek to implement community-based approaches to save lemur species and promote sustainability. Also, I forgot to say, the eye lemur, I'm fairly sure Maurice is an eye lemur, but I swear he literally doesn't look like that. Let me do some Google that. This is a Sifaka one, and I'm fairly sure they are in Madagascar, just like partying in the background. Let me Google it. What type of lemur is Maurice? I like to move it. I like to move it. He is an eye lemur. Actually, no. I guess he kind of looks like that, but he's not that creepy looking. He's not that, like, no offense to the eye, but absolutely bloody terrifying. King Julian. There was a guy I met on a holiday once, and it was like a campy one, and as in the holiday, not the person. And he woke us up every morning by singing "I Like to Move It" at the top of his lungs at about 6 a.m. Or like, everybody move it, as in like, get up. And he would not stop doing the King Julian impression. What a diva, I guess. I like to move it. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna Google. Why are lemurs seen as evil? Also, their eyes are orange, which I'm fairly sure means they're crepuscular. Because orange is dawn and dusk. Oh, and we're done. Because their ghostly nocturnal habitats, unsettling vocalizations, and in the case of eye, a bizarre appearance, which locals associate with death and crop failure. Anyway, we're at the end of the video now, so I hope you've learnt something. I hope you're inspired to go and rewatch Madagascar, and I hope that you've enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me in the comments, like, what other animals you'd like me to do a similar thing. If there's a movie you want me to watch and then draw the animals or things from, like, any requests, any comments would be quite nice, guys. Here is your honorary dolly photo. Yeah, that's it. See you next time. Ta-ta for now.